Good morning, volunteers. I'm Christian,
I'm Matthew.
and welcome back to this week's episode of LeeTV.
Congratulations to the boys soccer team for an amazing season.
Remember, volunteer prom is this Saturday. Speaking of, how are you preparing for prom?
I already got my suit ready and I'm just saving money. How about you?
I'm still looking for my suit. I'm trying to be the best dressed there.
Oh yeah.
So Ashley wants to know,
How are you preparing for prom?
What are your prom preparations?
Well, I'm going to get together with a couple of friends and we're going to go out to eat after we get ready and head on to prom.
Sounds fun.
You do it with your friends.
What is your prom dance move?
Imagine that you're Laura.
Beautiful.
Do you like math?
Good at math?
If your cumulative GPA in your math class is at 85 or above, you can apply to the Math Honor Society, Mu Alpha Theta.
You can pick up applications for Miss Johnson in M212, for Miss Henley in M301. Applications are due April 27th.
The quote of the week is, "Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others?" by Martin Luther King Jr.
Morning volunteers, it's Ms. Trevino, and with this week's college checklist, we're going to highlight an area in the library that you might not have spent too much time in. We're going to talk about the Resource Center. So I know you guys come in here to play Connect 4, work on homework, get ahead on projects on the computers, but you may not be spending enough time in the Resource Center. So what does Resource Center have? Exactly what it sounds like. Resources for you guys. So SAT and ACT studying, ASVAB preparation, other AP test booklets, so AP Calculus, AP Physics, AP Art History, things like that. Another thing that you may not realize that the resource has, or another opportunity that you guys can use to study, is called the TERC. It's the Testing and Education Resource Center. It's an awesome resource available through your Launchpad. Once you log in on Launchpad, you have all of these resources available to you. And if you don't know what they are, I'll list them off for you. So they've got academic skills improvement, military entrance exam test prep, they've got SAT, ACT, and PSAT for you sophomores getting ready for the PSAT next year. They've got high school GED testing resources, so for any of you knowing people who are studying for their GED, they've got resources for that online. So come into the library, spend some time working on your homework, getting on the computer to get ahead on those projects. But next time you're in here, stop by the Resource Center. Check out one of the books that they have for test prep. If you know that you've got an SAT or ACT coming up, it may be really worth it to come in and spend some time looking at these problems, right? So it's a free resource. It's here at school, on campus at school. You don't have to go very far to find these resources. Stop by the library here at LEET because they've got a lot for you guys available. And check out this TERC on Launchpad next time you log in. Okay, volunteers, that's all for this week. Come see me if you have any questions. Have a great day.
Fiesta starts this week. This week's trivia is, when did Fiesta start?
Every week, we will feature a profile on one of our excellent student athletes at Lee High School.
This week's athlete profile is on Marcus Silvera.
I've been playing football, basketball, and track since my 7th grade year. Basketball is my favorite because that's just an everyday thing that I do. Football, I just love burning people. For district, I won my race in the 400 and I triple jumped 46.7. I PR'd this year. And I've been district champ in triple jump since my sophomore and just became district champ for the 400 this year. Track, football, and basketball made me better as a student because to keep me in sports, I need my grades to be up.
This week in history, on April 17, 1961, 1,500 Cuban exiles invaded the Bay of Pigs. On April 18, 1923, the first baseball game was played at Yankee Stadium in New York City. On April 22, 1970, Earth Day is observed for the first time. On April 23, 1985, Coca-Cola announces it has changed its formula for Coke and will be known as New Coke. The word of the week is jubilant, feeling or expressing great happiness and triumph.
Congrats.
Daniel.
Wait.
Pass my class.
No way, dude. Good job, good.
Yeah.
Orchestras are made up of instruments of different families, including string, woodwind, and percussion instruments. While musicians have been playing music together for centuries, the first ensembles with parts written for specific instruments date back to the Renaissance period. Today, symphonic orchestras are a feature of nearly every major city, and they preserve tradition as well as push the boundaries of music. This week, our spotlight is on Lee Orchestra.
I've been in orchestra for 4 years. I joined orchestra because I wanted to learn an ability to have with me the rest of my life, and that ability was playing the violin. It's taken me a lot of places, and I hope it can take me a lot of places in the future. Favorite thing about orchestra is listening, definitely to the music, but also learning the harder stuff, because when you learn something, it gives you a sense of accomplishment, and you just want to play it over and over again.
My name is Michael Jabarov, and I both play the bass and I conduct. I've been doing orchestra for about 8 years, but I've been in Lee High School Orchestra for 4 of those years. So I joined orchestra because actually my sister was in orchestra, so I was like, oh, I have to basically do what she did, and then I fell in love with it. So here I am. My favorite thing, especially since I started conducting, was basically just standing in the center and just getting exactly what you want and putting your musical interpretation into something. It's really an interesting experience, and honestly, it wouldn't have happened anywhere else but besides at Lee High School. Mr. Prada has given me a massive opportunity that I've been very gracious for.
Fiesta began when a circle of women decorated horse-drawn carriages, stood in front of the Alamo, and threw flowers at each other. It is a way to honor the Alamo and the Battle of San Jacinto. Fiesta begins on April 19th through the 29th this year.
And that concludes this week's episode of LeeTV.
Remember, prom tickets are being sold throughout this entire week.
And remember, guys,
There's nothing stronger than the heart of a volunteer.